Good morning, everyone. We are live from Houston, Texas. This is Thursday, May 24th, and show number 29 of Captain Housekeeper Live. I'm so glad you're here. As you can see, we're outdoors, which is kind of fun. I'm going to adjust a little bit because I got some new equipment for holding my iPad. If you follow me on Instagram, I threw a picture of it up there, and so you can see how I have my little setup back here. I'm trying to get more light on my face, but it's really hard, so I apologize for the dark face, but it's good to see you. I have your comments, see? I have your comments on my phone, so if you see me looking down, that's because I'm looking at the comments and see who's here. Christy's here, and Ruthie's here, and Elisa's here, and Sweet Sarah May's here. It's so good to see you. Some of us were in the chat room before the show started, so it was fun getting caught up a little bit. If you're just joining me for the first time, this is, if you subscribe and ring the little notification bell, you'll know that I've gone live, but I like to schedule the shows early. So if you come a little bit early, the chat room's open and we're already in there starting the party. So please come join us early. Wow, it's Thursday and we're outdoors. It's just so nice to be outdoors. It is 80 degrees and 78% humidity, so it's going to be a hot day. It's going on 90 degrees, and with this high humidity, it's going to feel like 95 or 98, but that's what the pool's for, right? So, yeah, it's hot. Summer's here. Summer in Houston. It's a lot more fun to be outside actually in the winter here, but you know, I can't complain. Summer doesn't last that long, but oh, everyone's saying beautiful pool. Thank you. Well, thank you, everyone. In an earlier show, I shared that we had a drought here a few years ago, and I had 7 trees throughout my yard. I had 7 trees, including a couple pretty big oak trees. Ended up getting diseased from the drought. You know, we kept them alive, but it was just too harsh, so they had to be taken down. So I ended up with this big backyard in very sunny Houston, and I had to decide whether or not I was going to plant trees or put in a pool. And I had just gotten Tamaya, the Labrador. You've seen her on Instagram, I'm sure, and sometimes she makes an appearance. They're at daycare today. And Tamaya was only about 6 months old, and she just kept jumping in any little puddle and bucket of water around the yard. So I thought, well, that kind of clinches it. So let's do a pool instead of trees. So there it is. We're pretty happy with it. We use it every day, especially with the Labradors. You know, they like to swim, and it's such good exercise. The vet actually said that that their muscle tone is the best he's ever seen in a Labrador. Well, you know, Labradors can be lazy, so getting them in the pool really helps a lot. Oh, look, Kristen's here. Hi, Kristen. I should have worn my glasses. She said, I just had my phone repaired by a repairman who came to my house. Oh, they made a house call? That's weird. I never heard of such a thing, but good job getting your phone repaired right away. Nothing worse than leaving off repairs or burned out light bulbs or anything like that. So good job. And hey, you know, I was going to say over on Instagram, a big shout out to Captain Rhonda, who left a comment that she started using her attack plan yesterday. You know, you can print out my attack plan on my website and follow along. And she said it went really, really well. She got a bunch done, and now she feels some forward momentum. And so she's going to do it again today. So good job, Captain Rhonda. I'm very proud of you for attacking those chores and taking control of them. Got to get them out of the way so we can enjoy life. Kristen says, I've never heard of it. It was awesome. I got to watch the complicated job. His tools and process were amazing to watch. Wow, you know, I saw a YouTube video on how to change your iPhone screen, and I was like, I'm never doing it because it's hugely complicated, and I don't have the tools, obviously, and my fingers are like big sausages, so there's no way I'm gonna get in there. But oh yeah, I don't know if any of you watched Kristen's show this morning. She has her podcast. It's called Yarn on the Beach. Check it out if you haven't checked it out. But there was an alligator sighting not too far from her, so it was very exciting to watch this morning. She had to move away from the water line because there was an alligator, 10-foot one. It's like Wild Kingdom. It was very, it was like yarn and knitting and alligators. But I'm happy to report that Kristen and her knitting and her crocheting survived. So she's still frazzled 4 hours later. Well, Kristen, you did the right thing by moving away from the water, and we're glad you're okay. It's weird a 10-foot alligator would be right in the ocean like that. I don't think they like it so salty. But anyway, so I have my attack plan today, like we were talking about. Normal stuff, it's Thursday, that means I need to do all my laundry. I like to do my laundry all on one day. And I also need to plan the meals for the weekend. It's a long weekend, remember, if you're in the USA and you have a normal job. Most people have Monday off then. If you have a retail job, I'm sorry, you might have to work. But if you have a long week, I have a long weekend this weekend, so I'm going to plan out the meals so that I have everything in the house. I don't want to go grocery shopping on a holiday weekend. Once I thought, I'll go to the grocery store when the Super Bowl's on. Everybody in Texas, right? Everybody in the country practically is watching the Super Bowl. It was the busiest I've ever seen the grocery store was during the Super Bowl, because apparently everybody had that one person they sent to the store for something they forgot. So, best laid plans. So I'll get and also it's been 2 weeks, can you believe it? Time to wash my truck again. I'm very happy I'm getting my hair cut right after the show. I'm gonna go eat some lunch and go get my hair cut, because with this humidity, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and it takes me way too long to get it just looking like that. So, Sweet Sarah May says, I try to do my laundry on Mondays, but sometimes a load here and there through the week also doesn't pile up. That's actually a really good point. I try to get all the clothes done on Thursday, but inevitably there's towels from the pool or the kitchen towels or, stuff that's built up that, I have a few like throw blanket, like Afghan things that I use, but then the dogs use them and they stink. So, I gotta get caught up with other stuff. So I do laundry I said doo-doo. I do laundry during the week. There was somebody here helping me a couple weeks ago, and she was like, oh, can I use your dryer? I need to use your dryer. Is it okay if I touch your dryer? And I was like, it's a dryer. But apparently she's like, nobody touches my washer and dryer. So she had to ask permission, apparently. I've never heard anyone be so attached to their washer and dryer that nobody could touch it. Anyway, oh, Deborah's here. Hi, Deborah. Good to see you. That's my sister, Deborah. Say hi, everybody. Gosh, I'm just reading my comments so I can keep up with the conversation. Elisa does laundry every weekend. That's good. Oh, Kristen's son, if you don't know, Kristen's son is at a tennis academy. So he does sports every day, all day long. And he uses at least 3 outfits at tennis and comes home with a soaking wet pile of stink. Yeah, I can only imagine. And he's 15, right? 15-year-old boys stink anyway. So if he's doing athletics all day long, so you got to keep up with your laundry. So Kristen, do you do laundry every day? I imagine you'd almost have to. So anyway, gonna get my hair cut, and I'm very excited about that. Look at the pool. Oh, look. I forgot to turn the waterfalls on. See, there's a little waterfall right there. So I'm gonna do that while we speak. Talk amongst yourselves. It's on my phone here. You'll hear less traffic if I turn the water on. So here we go. Let's see if it'll work. I'm also excited because I think the quality of this video at the pool is better than it's been in the past. I figured out a way to get my signal out here. Devices, water feature. Let's see if water comes out. There should be water here and also here. So, hey, San78's here. Hi, San78. Nice to see you. You're always welcome to jump in the pool. I hear the pump going. It takes a while for the water to get from the pump, which is way over. Oh, here it comes. Yay. Oh, that's better. Anyway. I meant to do that before the show started. Okay, back to comments. Here we go. Oh, Kristen says she has to do laundry daily. Yeah, I can only imagine. Sarah May says, Kristen, you're a Wonder Woman. I have to agree with that because If I did a third of what you do, Kristen, I would be so exhausted. I don't know how you do it. There we go. So anyway, I don't know. I can't remember if I told you, I have to get this, my sewer system in my house plumbing all redone. And I set a date for that. And that's not till July. So right in the hottest time of the year. But they did figure out how they can tunnel underneath the pool deck. So, but in order to do that, they have to sink the boring equipment into the ground. And it's right where all the pipes connect to the pool equipment. So they're going to cut off all the pipes. There's like 23 of them, I think. 24. So they're going to cut them all off. Sarah May said, glad you will not be homeless. You know what? You and me both, Sarah May. There was, in case you missed those shows, if you're new, there was a point where I thought I was going to have to go homeless when they did this plumbing. And I didn't know how that was going to happen because I have all these animals and a family, and it's only for 2 weeks, so it would be like temporary housing. And on Airbnb, it was good. The lowest I could find was $17,000. I just can't go homeless. But I negotiated with the engineer of the plumbing project, and he said that they always keep a bathroom hooked up at all times. Maybe for a 2-hour period here and there, they have to say, sorry, you can't use the restroom or any plumbing. But, it's such a huge relief I won't go homeless after all. Still looking at your comments here. See, everybody's here. Ruthie says I wouldn't get anything done with a pool. You know what though? You can do a lot around the pool. Like I got the internet signal boosted out here, so all my internet work, I can sit out here at the table and get a lot done. The problem is the animals. Labradors are very insistent when they're around the water that you throw something, and also they get covered with water. So I'm always protecting my equipment from water being flopped everywhere. Sand78 says yuck. I agree. This, in case you missed earlier shows, the plumbing issue they're going to fix actually damaged all my hardwood floors. I have original hardwood floors to this house from 1938. And I love them so much. They're so beautiful. They're oak, solid oak. And 3 of the rooms have to be one of the rooms going to be completely torn up, which is the living room, and replaced. And then the other 2 rooms, my studio and the master bedroom, have to be refinished. So I actually, although I won't go homeless, I have to move out of the main parts of the house. And I don't know how long that's going to take. I don't think floors take a long time, but I have a dining room that's also, I think it's supposed to be a family room. Somebody else built it onto the house years ago, and I use it as a dining room. And it's big enough that I think I'm going to move my bed in there next to the dining room table and then pile everything next to me, and we're just going to live in the dining room. Sounds like fun. It's got a wet bar. We'll all survive. Ruthie says, Captain, is that a double hibiscus with the beautiful... Oh, can you see it? See, on my screen, it's off screen, but you can see it, huh? Oh, this one here. Yeah, that's a double hibiscus. I bought this hibiscus at Home Depot a few weeks ago. And once it started blooming, I discovered there's actually 3 different hibiscus plants in there, and one of them's a double. I've never seen a double before. It got attacked by aphids and ants. I don't know if you know this about aphids. Excuse me, I bumped it. Ants will carry aphids to a flower and farm the aphids. And the aphids suck the nectar of the flower, and then the ants eat the aphids. Well, wild kingdom in my hibiscus plant there. So I discovered it, and I thought, you know what? I want to go organic. I want to just let the Mother Nature ecosystem balance itself. And sure enough, a bunch of ladybugs showed up, and those ladybugs are supposed to eat the aphids. But the aphids, if you didn't know, aphids are born pregnant. And so they reproduce really, really fast. And they suck the nectar out of all the blossoms, and so the flowers started being smaller and not as colorful. And then they eventually never did bloom. They just fall off. So I had to get some insecticidal soap, which I think, don't quote me, I think is a little more organic than a pesticide. I don't know. It's just soap, right? So I got some insecticidal soap and diluted it, and before I sprayed it, I picked all the ladybugs off and put them on another plant. Because I didn't want them to get hurt. They're so cute and they're so beneficial. So I picked off all the ladybugs and I put them over on one of the vegetables. And then I sprayed this thing down with insecticidal soap. And sure enough, all the aphids and ants disappeared instantly. And the flowers, as you can see, are starting to get big and a lot more color. And they had gotten to where they were kind of almost beige. And they really are like dark pink and kind of a peachy color. So, yeah. I don't want to hurt the ladybugs. So anyway, see what I missed. I see things popping up. I don't know how Kristen, I don't know how you keep up with your comments on the screen here, because I can't do it. Oh, the flower's beautiful. Oh, thank you. Sarah May said, yeah, it sounds good because I won't have to get out of bed to eat or drink. That's exactly what I was thinking, because the kitchen is adjacent to the dining room also. So it's kind of self-enclosed. There's just no bathroom there. But what's good is actually when they're doing the floors, other contractors have done this, I'm assuming they'll do it also, is they'll tape some heavy plastic over the doorways into the area that's being worked on to keep the dust from traveling. And they actually can tape a zipper into it, which is weird and kind of cool. So you can unzip it and walk through. But really my biggest concern are Tamaya, Koyana, and Miss Chandler, the kitty cat, because I don't want them wandering into the work area, especially if there's nails or dust or chemicals from the finishing process. So I'm thinking if we can sequester in this dining room area, which is adjacent to the pool also, it kind of all flows together, I think everything will go just fine. The yard's going to be off limits for 2 weeks during the plumbing problems. Never dull moment when you own a house. Oh, Kristen says she missed tons of her comments. Well, you know what? That happened yesterday. I kept commenting. I would look at the comments and comment and realize I was jumping into other people's conversations, which is great. I mean, I love that everyone's talking, but I felt a little foolish after a while. There was one time my sister Deborah just said, no! And I was like, oh, I don't know what that means. And then I went back and read the comments, and then I understood what she was saying no about. Oh, Deborah says it's gorgeous. Thank you, Deborah. Hibiscus are one of my favorite. Unfortunately, if you put them in the ground here, they could freeze. But if you put them in pots, you can take them in, and they're perennials. So that'll be nice when this gets big. I'm hoping it'll become like a 4 or 5 foot bush, because they get covered with flowers. If you live in a colder climate, like our sister Dawn had a hibiscus that's good for colder climates. They're called Rose of Sharon. And those are actually in the hibiscus family. So if you live up north where it gets real cold and freezes, you can have hibiscus, but they're called Rose of Sharon. And they look, the flowers are a little bit smaller, but they're still beautiful. They're hibiscus. Just FYI, watch for the pregnant aphids. They'll come get your flower though. Kristen says, I encourage people to write their comments in the recorded version if I miss the question and they want me to see it. Yeah. I like to go back and review all the comments and questions because a lot of the things I've been able to answer on the show have come from that. Hey, 2 people have liked the video. Thank you, 2 people. There's more of you here, so when the show's over, be sure you like the video if you like it. Subscribe and ring the notification bell if you want to know when I go live. If you are watching this at a later time, be sure to subscribe and come a little early. The chat room is always open. And leave a comment down below. I read all of them. I promise. You can go back and see. I've read other people's and answered them. There's just some people that can't make it to the show live no matter what. So if you watch this later on, feel free to engage and comment and ask questions. I love to talk to you all the time. So Sarah May says, I have a Rose of Sharon and I didn't know that it was a hibiscus. Well, now you know. Yeah, the hibiscus, I believe, has 8 different types, and like the one I have here is very tropical. It does real well down here. The leaves are real big and waxy and lush, but there are other types, and Rose of Sharon's one of them. it does real well up north, even if it freezes. So anyway, Christy says I'm bad about jumping in. Jumping into the pool? Yeah. No, I think you mean jumping into the comments, but my pool isn't deep enough. I thought 5 feet at the deep end would be deep enough to jump in, but it's not. I did a cannonball the first day, landed right on my hind end in the water. So now there's a rule, no jumping in the pool at my house. Deborah was here with her grandsons a couple years ago visiting, and that was before Koyana was even born, so it's got to be at least 3 years ago. And I was like threatening, do not jump in the pool, no diving. They're like, oh, Uncle Drew he's so strict, it's like, no diving. Anyway, I also told them they had to go behind the shed to pee, but no going in the house wet. Kristen says, I have the same color hibiscus as you do next to my front door. Kristen lives in Florida, if you didn't know that. It's a great, you probably have orchids too, don't you? My brother Dennis lives in Florida, and he has orchids everywhere. It's quite beautiful. So anyway, okay, folks. Well, just because you're in charge of the house, Christy, doesn't mean you have to do everything. Automate and delegate whenever possible. I have a link to a blog post in the show description if you want to know what I mean by that. Sarah May says, I love calla lilies. I love calla lilies too, and canna lilies. I do real well with cannas. I had callas here for a while, and I couldn't keep them alive because I had them in the ground and they were in the wrong spot. I should have put them in a pot to begin with. And if you want to see what I'm working on, you can go to my blog because I have some new blog posts that I've put up recently. It's good to see all you new people. Thank you for coming. Subscribe and ring the notification bell. And I like to end every show with this mantra. Everyone say it with me. No matter what life throws at me, I have the ability to make this a fantastic day. Okay, I love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully poolside again, weather permitting. See you then. Have a fantastic day.